Hi AMFishers, I'm Bill Georgopoulos, the host of the AMFisH fishing vlog series. Shooting a little video today on a topic I tried to shoot in the boat, and I have a video on it. I didn't like the way it turned out. I had a lot of wind battles that day on the lake, so I thought I'd shoot one that'd be a little bit better quality at home here, just on a table, and gives you a better perspective of what I was trying to achieve through that video. And this is basically a quick little video. Hopefully it's quick, but I want to be as thorough and detailed as I can. As you'll see on this table here, I've got a bunch of frog baits, and you know, most of us are bass fishing people, and we love bass and catching them. You know, they're great hunting them and finding out where they are and what they're going to hit. And top water fishing being what it is, very exciting and exhilarating. These are great baits to use for bass fishing. The only thing is when they get damaged, and that's what this video is about. As an example, you get out on the lake, you have the wrong species, whether it's a bass or not a bass, a pickerel or a pike or a muskie hit a frog. These are soft plastic. You know, most of them are very pliable. They're durable. Don't get me wrong, they're very durable, but they do have issues with getting chomped open, and that's just, it doesn't matter which one it is. You know, fish will attack, and they hit hard sometimes, and they'll cut through the rubber. So what happens if it gets damaged? Well, as an example, if this frog gets a cut across the top or a cut across the eye or a cut across the bottom, this one actually has a little cut, and I'll make another one as well, but it has a little cut in the middle. It starts to take on water. It hits the water pretty quick from the cast, it takes on water, then it sinks and it doesn't float and it doesn't do its job, hence your topwater fishing's gone. What do you do with the frog? Well, in most cases, people will probably throw it out. I threw a few out when I was younger, and then I thought about it carefully and I said, I wonder if there's a way to fix these. So I'm just going to pan over to a couple little tools I have here. Just a needle and nose pliers, a lighter, and a screw, or a nail. You can use a screw or a nail or any little piece of pliable metal like that would be fine. And what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you a frog that actually got damaged. It's a little dirty, but I can probably get it on camera still. That little mark right across there is actually a mark that I seamed shut with some heat. And this one here, as you can see, is a little gash there. But I had a pike attack this 3 or 4 times, made a cut in the bottom, made a cut right across from that eye down to the bottom of the eye. So it's a little dirty because I burned it a bit, but it sealed it up, and the frog actually works. And when I was on the water, I didn't have another secondary white frog, and this is the one they were hitting. I happened to have a lighter with me. A friend of mine was there who had a lighter, and I always have, you know, a little container with nuts and screws or nails or whatever, and I always have my pliers as well. So I was able to repair it there in the boat. Again, it doesn't look pretty, it doesn't look nice and fancy anymore because it's got some scuff mark, burn marks on it, but it works. And I've saved myself an $8 to $10 frog. Again, they're not cheap. You get them on sale, it's great, but they're not really cheap when you get them right out of the stores. They're fairly expensive, so just throwing it away and rendering it useless can get costly. So I'm going to show you how to repair this onto the video. I'm going to make another little cut. I have my scissors somewhere here. So as you can see, there's one hole there right now, and I'll make another one. This is something you're never going to see bass fishermen do to their frog baits, but now I've got 2 holes, one there and one there, and I'm going to show you a very quick, easy way to do this. You're going to want to hold the screw with your needle nose pliers because it will get hot, and you just heat up the tip of that screw or nail or piece of metal or whatever it is that you're using. You heat it up, you know, 8, 10, 12 seconds. I like to heat it up a little bit so I know it's hot, and I don't have to repeat this too many times. So I've heated it up there, and what I'll do is I'm going to touch that rubber, and as you can see, hopefully it's getting this. You can smell it. I can smell it. You won't be able to smell it, but that nail tip is really, really, really hot right now. And if I hold it, the one thing my camera will not capture, it'll be very difficult for me to capture, is the little bit of smoke coming off this. But you can see that it's melting it. I heat it up a little bit more. Sometimes if you heat it up double the time, it actually does a better job. And you just keep running it across those seams. Now again, it doesn't look pretty afterwards, but you save yourself a frog. And I'll do this 3 or 4 times. I'm going to let that one set for a little bit and I'll double check it. I'll come back to that in a few minutes. I do not want to put any pressure on that, but as you can see, it didn't look like that before. It's all melted around that little cut, both of those cuts. So it doesn't look pretty, but you save yourself that frog. Unfortunately, I'm going to let this set for about 5 to 10 minutes, which is going to far surpass this video. But as I showed you on this one, it looks exactly the same. So it doesn't look perfect here anymore. And it's a little gashed up here. You know, it doesn't look perfect. It's not smooth and soft like it was before, but it still has saved me that frog. And again, all you need is a lighter, a screw or a nail, and some pliers, and you can repair your frogs. I'll go over this one again. Again, I'm looking at it. It looks pretty decent. I'll push down on it after about 5 to 10 minutes, make sure the hole is not there. But for the most part, it should be seamed perfectly fine and waterproofed again, and now those holes are not going to impact my fishing. So it's just a little tip. Like I said, you can do it on any frog. It doesn't matter what frog make it is, you know, longer style. Let me move this one out of the way and let it sit so I don't hit it too much. You know, doesn't matter color, doesn't matter anything. You can repair these little soft plastics. And it's fantastic because you save yourself the headaches of having to throw a frog away. Most frogs, there's another little tip after that repair. So there's the repaired frog right there. Again, it looks a little burnt, but it's going to repair that frog, and I'll have limited issues using this again because it'll work perfectly fine. But some other little tips, these happen to be scum frogs. I actually like them a lot, very pliable, and they look pretty realistic. And this weight back here lets them sit like that in the water, like a frog would. So the strands, which dummy has the legs, dangle right into the bottom of the surface, and they look, you know, very realistic. But I like the fact that some frogs will have a little hole back here. This doesn't take on water. It is designed again to just sit like this. Gashes in the frog will take on water. So a gash along the side you'll want to repair with this method. A gash on the bottom you'll definitely want to repair with this method. But frogs don't have rattles in them, and sometimes I like noisy frogs. So what I'll do is, because it's rubber and it's pliable, I can take little rattle inserts of any kind. Some are glass, some are metal, aluminum, and just wedge 1 or 2 in there. It adds a little bit of weight to the frog, but it's still very buoyant. So it's not going to take from the frog too much and make it sink. And what that does is then your frog now becomes a rattling frog. And again, it could just be something where you want to make a lot of noise on the surface, cause a little more vibration than just the regular frog. So don't be scared to tweak them like that. Very, very simple little method of doing that. But I wanted to do this video, and again, I shot it in the boat, and it was a little, it was in the screw, it was a little complicated due to winds, so I thought I'd do one here at home on a little table. Now, what you can do with this method as well, because it's just basically a heat-up method, is I've got some Zoom horny toad frogs here, and these are frog baits. I'm going to get one out of the package that you would just Texas rig on a hook, or you can use as a trailer as well, but these are just little frogs. And most manufacturers are pretty good on their quality. Not to knock anybody, this can happen to anyone, but you might get a package, maybe not these ones, a different brand, who knows what it is. And I'll try and get this on camera the best I can, where, example, you take these out of the package and the leg is like half dangling, and it's probably, you know, just severed to maybe the middle part. For some reason it slipped through quality control, and now you have, you know, you're spending anywhere from $3 to $5 on a pack of 5. You know, you're close to maybe 75 cents to $1 a piece. You'd like to have them all in working order. Well, what I do is, same method. This one's not cut, but I can just show you the same idea. I would take my screw, heat it up the exact same way, and what you can do is you can melt around that little area and try and reattach that leg the best you can. It'll look messy, it won't look great, but at least it makes the frog usable, and you don't have to throw this bait away. So again, rubber will melt. You're not going to get a lot of burn off that's going to be toxic to you. You're only taking this for a few minutes, but you can always mend a leg or an arm or something, a tentacle, if you really needed to. Most of us will probably just discard it. You know, some people just don't care and they'll throw it away. But I figure, you know what, it's just an experiment for me to try and fix some of these little things, because you You know, again, these frogs here, they get costly, right? You know, $8, $9, $10, and you have 15 of them. You add that up, it quickly adds up. So this method, again, this is all you need. You need your needle nose pliers, a screw or a nail, and a lighter. Heat the nail or the screw up for 8 to 10 seconds. Run it across the area that needs to be fixed, and it will melt it shut, and it'll make it waterproof again. Now this one here looks like it's taken. I still don't want to press down on it because it is a little premature right now, but it works. And I thought I'd take some time to shoot the video in a proper atmosphere where I could sit here and do it, and it looks a lot better than it did in the boat. It was a little complicated in the boat. I just like to shoot things in the boat because that's where I shoot many of my videos. But I hope you found this video a little helpful. I've rambled on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but in hopes that I've added some value to the video. So give it a try, save yourself some frogs, some damaged frogs, and not having to throw them out. Should you have any questions, or feel free to contact me through my website at amfish.ca. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, feel free to do so. You can access all my social media channels through my website as well. I've got a lot of informative videos for all of you out there, just sharing random topics, tips, products, that kind of stuff. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it was worth your time, and I will see you at my next video blogs.